I struggled so hard to save consistently before I achieved my first million. So here's the advice I'm passing on to you so you don't end up delaying your financial goals again this new year. Before you set savings goals or any financial goal this new year, you need to ask yourself this important question first and foremost. What has prevented you to prioritize your savings in the past? It may seem like a simple question, but this is an important question that a lot of people avoid, and that's what keeps putting you in the same cycle of being inconsistent with saving, going back to the same spending habits that you don't want. In my work as a money mindset coach and helping over 100 Filipino professionals at this point to build sustainable money habits, this is an important question that would allow you to have a deeper awareness around what's been blocking you, what's been in the way for you to save consistently. Because the danger is that you may set like another big savings goal or another savings target without really identifying what has stopped you in the past. Because if you haven't identified that, then you're gonna be in the same cycle of being inconsistent or having a hard time sticking to your budget. My analogy here is like you're using Waze to get to your destination. And you know, in Waze, there's usually like routes that tell you, okay, this is my traffic, this is gonna take you longer, there's another route that could get to your destination and it's gonna take less time. And the thing is, you keep going to the same route that is super traffic, that is super taking you a long time, that is super stressful, that is super mahassle because you're not figuring out what are the other routes for me that could get to my destination that could be more seamless, that could take me a shorter time to get there. That's what I want you to look at in the past. What has been blocking you? What has been making it a struggle for you to save consistently? I want you to have a deeper awareness around that so that you'll realize like, wait, there could be other routes here. There could be other paths for me to save faster, to save consistently, to save more sustainably. I don't have to make it a struggle for me to keep going back to the same mistakes. Because otherwise, you might be making the same mistakes, not realizing it, and that's why you're still in the same cycle of saving inconsistently. So I noticed that there are 3 levels of awareness for you to achieve this deeper awareness around what could be those roadblocks, what could be in the way for you to save consistently and sustainably. First level is acknowledging the money problem. Because guys, you can't address what you can't acknowledge, which means you need to confront what you've been avoiding and acknowledge that it is a problem. In this work that I do as a coach, like I swear so many times that the biggest blocker for my clients is that they've been avoiding their money problem. May it be the recurring debts, may it be as an impulsive buyer, someone who's super magastos, or someone who's been people pleasing and overgiving. Maybe they've been in that habit, they've been in that pattern, and they don't see it as an urgent, immediate problem. And so they're like, next time na lang, I would rather do this, I'd rather do that. And so when you don't acknowledge the problem, when you don't have an awareness that it is a problem, then you're gonna keep making the same mistakes. You're gonna keep being inconsistent with saving. You're gonna keep going back to regretting where your money went again. Because otherwise, you're gonna keep draining your income no matter how much increases you get or how much your salary increases. You're gonna keep draining that income, or even if you start saving, you're gonna drain that savings again because it might go back to the same problem of people pleasing, overgiving, impulsive buying, overspending, emotional spending. So right here in level 1 awareness, identify for yourself what is that money problem that you need to acknowledge, that you may have been avoiding and now you need to confront. Now we're gonna get deeper. Level 2 awareness is identifying the symptoms of your money problem. So where does this money problem show up in your money habits and decisions? Maybe because you're a people pleaser, you're constantly saying yes to your family's financial requests that prevent you from prioritizing paying off your debts. Maybe because you've been so impulsive with your purchases that every time you're stressed at work, the immediate thing you're gonna do is let me check these shopping apps, let me see what I can buy, let me see what would make me feel good, whether it's food, stuff, or experiences that help you justify that because I'm stressed, I deserve to buy this, not realizing that it's a manifestation of you being an impulsive emotional buyer. Maybe another symptom could be you justify your purchases as self-care. Like I have a lot of clients who tell me like I've been overspending on beauty treatments, on all kinds of experiences and trips to justify like, hey, it's for my self-care. It's to prioritize myself. And yet they've been in that cycle of overspending and compromising their savings. So that could be another symptom of like your overspending habits show up in form of self-care. So these are just examples of what I've seen with my clients. So it really varies depending on your background, childhood experiences, past mistakes, exposure to different kinds of people who make these kinds of decisions, what you consume online, and so on. What's important is that you get to have awareness around how does your money problem show up in your day-to-day decisions, because you don't even realize like those are the micro moments or micro decisions that you make that have been stopping you from sticking to your budget. Here's the thing. Most Filipinos stay stuck in level 1 or 2 awareness. So they might say, I'm an impulsive buyer. I justify my purchases. I deserve it anyway. Or maybe, okay, fine. Maybe I am a people pleaser. I keep saying yes to everyone. Or maybe I keep prioritizing everyone else before myself. And you're fine with compromising yourself because you've been so used to this habit. And maybe because you have this awareness, you're like, okay, then maybe I need to set stricter budgets. Oh, maybe I just need to delete the shopping app. Okay, maybe I just need to download a budgeting app and track all of my expenses. Okay, maybe I just need my partner to handle my credit cards for me to stop myself from spending. All of these things address level 1 or 2 awareness, but they're only temporary band-aid solutions. They're just quick fixes. Maybe for a while you're like, yes, I'm saving for a bit. I see that my savings are growing. But because you haven't addressed the deeper root issue, you're gonna come back to it again. Tell me how I know, because that was me. Okay, like that's why I've been through years of trial and error before I understood this awareness. And so that leads me to the level 3 awareness, which is addressing the root issue. This is the most important level of awareness that you need to have. Because if you stay stuck in level 1 or 2 awareness, you're gonna try to earn more, be more strict to yourself, hustle more in order to pay off your impulsive purchases, in order to pay your recurring debts, in order to like have the capacity to keep giving more to others. But then you're just gonna create that cycle. When you understand and address the root issue in level 3, that's what will allow you to stop that cycle. So how does it look like to know the root issue? It's about digging deep and uncovering your subconscious beliefs around money that bleed into how you spend. So level 1 or 2 awareness could be like, yeah, I have to keep saying yes to my family's requests because I'll feel guilty. Won't they think I'm selfish? Like that could be level 1 or 2 awareness. But level 3 awareness could look like, I need to please my family in order to feel loved. It's the only way that makes me feel like I'm important to them. Do you see the difference? Like it's such a deeper level of awareness. When you have awareness around that deeper root issue, then you know what you need to address. You know that having stricter budgets or hustling more will not fix that need for you to feel loved by your family, right? Another example is, let's say you have been in retail therapy or you've been impulsive buying, and level 1 or 2 awareness could be like, it's because I've been so stressed at work. Okay, like deserve ko to, so bibilhin ko. Okay, that could be level 1 or 2 awareness, right? But level 3 awareness could be like you've been in denial of your burnout, that you've been using shopping as a mask for you to keep operating, for you to keep hustling on autopilot. Oh, that was me, by the way. For the longest time, I didn't really admit to myself that I wasn't fulfilled in my career anymore, and that led to me burning out. But the thing is, I am like a highly functioning burnout person. I didn't even realize. Like, because for me, I'm like, I'm not stressed. Like, I'm fine. I'm still able to do the work. I'm still able to work even if I'm sick. Even if I'm tired, I can still do it. But that was my coping mechanism. It's like, oh, I can still work. And then not realizing that because I was in denial of my burnout, I was in denial of my crisis with my career, that I would just buy stuff in order to justify like how hard I've been working, that at least I can buy these things, at least I can afford them, at least I can enjoy my life. But was I really? Was I really happy? Was I really living a full life? No. So I was using retail therapy, impulsive buying, as a mask to my burnout because I didn't want to admit it. right? So that's level 3 awareness. And that's something that you don't realize for yourself until you dig deep and reflect inward and create that safe space for you to find out. Otherwise, you're going to just keep going to the same cycle. I'll add in another example that I've seen with my clients also is like level 1 or 2 awareness could be like, okay, I buy stuff for self-care. I buy stuff for my happiness because if I buy this, I'll be happy, I'll take care of myself, I've worked so hard and so on. Level 1 or 2 awareness yon. But level 3 awareness could look like buying stuff I can afford validates my self-worth, right? Like how deep is that? Because that is a very subconscious belief. You don't say that, okay, I'm buying this facial, I'm going to Pilates because it's to validate my worth. You don't say that. Like it's very subconscious. And this is why I love the work that I do as a coach because I provide self-reflection prompts, powerful mindset exercises, and the safe space for my clients to open up, to dig deep these very subconscious beliefs they have around money that's been dictating how they spend without even realizing it. I've seen it so many times with clients that when they were able to uncover the root cause, all of a sudden the shopping urges are gone. All of a sudden they're like, wait, I can say no to this. Okay, wait, like what truly are my priorities? It creates a shift, a subtle shift in their mindset that dictates their decisions and therefore their reality. Therefore, it becomes so much more empowering to save consistently, to achieve their savings goals when it used to be a struggle or when it used to be impossible. Like I'm going to link some YouTube interviews here with my clients. For example, one who was able to clear six-figure debts, almost 500,000, and then another client who was an impulsive buyer to achieving her first million. There are just some of the examples of what's possible when you have this deeper awareness of addressing the root issue of your money problems. And if you want to learn how my proven frameworks can also work for you similar to my clients, then make sure you watch my free training linked below all about how you can turn your splurges into savings by building sustainable money habits and systems this 2026 so that you can finally achieve your savings goals, build the habit of saving consistently. So all you have to do is sign up through the link below and I will send you the 5-part video training series to your inbox. Now let's move on to the next question you need to ask yourself if you want to save consistently this 2026, because let's say you've already addressed the root issue, let's put it into something concrete and tangible. So you need to ask yourself, how much now is enough to set aside for my savings? Because what I see often, Filipinos struggle to save consistently because they don't have a clear understanding of how much is enough ba for my peace of mind? How much enough ba should I save now? How much should I save for my future? How much should I save for this? And so what happens is you're in analysis paralysis. So either you end up saving so much that it doesn't become sustainable, or you end up saving too little that you don't see any progress, and so you just end up delaying, or you may end up feeling discouraged and give up. Either way, you need to find out how much is enough for you in a way that would be sustainable for you to do month to month. Because the thing is, the goal isn't to save as big as possible, to save as fast as you can. No, the goal is for you to save in a way that you can sustain for the long term. And so this is what I love helping my clients with, is really identifying what is the realistic amount that they can save month to month, and also setting a clear timeline wherein they know when to use their savings according to a huge milestone that they want. I am such an advocate for this because building the habit of saving is a lifelong skill that got me to my first million. If I was still impulsive buying, if I was like saving inconsistently, I wouldn't have achieved this milestone. This muscle, this habit is something that compounds to your first million. It's something that prepares you to the next milestone and to the next and to the next. That's why I always talk about that building sustainable money habits is the foundational skill to your version of financial freedom. Going back to knowing how much is enough, that differs for every person. Just because ChatGPT or Google says like, oh, you should save 20% of your income or 30% of your income, you're gonna force yourself to do it, you know? That's why I love providing personalized financial audits to my clients, wherein I get to really assess, evaluate, like what is the sustainable, realistic amount that they can save month to month, and what is a realistic target also. Because for some people, they're like, I'm just going to save 500K next year. Like, why? What for? Like, you don't save just just for the sake of it. You need to understand, okay, what would that amount allow me to do? What dreams would be possible for me? What are the big dreams that I get to finally unlock for myself? Like, these are the things that you get to create a holistic picture of why you do what you do with your finances, so that it doesn't become a chore. It becomes something empowering and exciting. Therefore, it's something that you stick to. This is why I love talking about how I was able to develop my 15-minute sustainable financial system that my clients love as well. Like, when they get to this point, they're like, oh my gosh, it can be so simple to save consistently, because they're able to figure out what is that sustainable amount that they can save month to month. And then at the same time, they get to strike the balance of enjoying the fruits of their labor without feeling guilty spending on themselves, and at the same time feeling financially secure about what's enough for their future. So if you also want to receive this guidance, step-by-step exercises, personalized feedback on your finances, so that you could finally build the muscle of saving consistently and spending on yourself without the guilt, then I invite you to join my signature coaching program, Fund Your Freedom. This is where you'll be guided with building a sustainable financial system and roadmap in 60 days for funding a major life milestone this 2026. You'll be able to apply my proven frameworks and get feedback on how it's going to best fit and how it can be best tailored to your unique income situation, your life stage, your life goals, and at the same time, have is structured guidance in terms of what is the step by step that I need to do, so that I don't get analysis paralysis, I don't delay my financial goals anymore, and also address the root issue of what's been holding you back with your mindset around money, with your habits around money, so that you could finally break the cycle for good. May it be your recurring debts, impulsive buying, emotional spending, overgiving, or people pleasing, all of that you get to finally address, so that you could break the cycle for good and ultimately feel more empowered that you can make wise money decisions towards funding your huge life milestones, because that is the point of managing our finances. So check the link in my bio on how you can join my coaching program. I have two coaching options for you to enroll. I have one-on-one coaching if you prefer a private space, or I have my group coaching program for a more accessible investment for you to join, where you could get structured guidance at your own pace with financial audits and community calls for you to stay on track and motivated along the way in prioritizing your financial goals, so you don't end up making excuses again this new year. So just check the link in my bio on how you can join, and I'm looking forward to coaching you next. And if you want more tough love money advice so that you finally prioritize your financial goals for the new year, make sure you watch this video on the money advice that might hurt your feelings, but that could be the wake-up call that you need to keep going. So check that out, and I will see you there.